We are on the verge of the 20th anniversary of the, if one can call it that, on Valentine's Day, I think it is, of the famous Fatwa that so affected 10 years of your life. Do you have any, when you look back on that period, what do you feel?
I don't look back on it.
No.
I mean,
will you ever write about it?
People, not unlike my literary agent, keep telling me that I should.
Would that be Andrew Wiley?
That would be Andrew Wiley. Yeah. Who was, I have to say, during those days, an ally such as one could not have wished to find. I mean, he was the most exceptional and unafraid ally at a time when all sorts of people were running scared. You know, so. Look, you know, I mean, I don't like the fact that this anniversary is coming up and it means that everybody's going to look at it again and, you know, rehash it. Because my view is that I tried very hard to change the subject. I mean, I thought, okay, 10 years ago, more or less, just over 10 years ago. I mean, when I say change the subject, I mean in myself. You know, I mean, there's nobody ever tells you it's okay now. You know, or at least they do. They don't. There's no guarantees. You know, I mean, in the end, you have to make a decision about your life. You know, and when you've done that, you know, I mean, certainly in my case, it was very important to look forward and not back. And I've tried to do that. The idea of writing about it, I mean, I think at some point I will have to. I think, because otherwise somebody else will. And you know, what I've seen that people have written about it has been very often very wrong. I mean, just factually wrong. I mean, we can't stop people from having opinions which are not like my own, but you know, there is a lot just factually that people, well, frankly, don't know, because a lot of what happened is still kind of under wraps. So one of these days...
Have you given the papers related to that to Emory University?
Well, they're very deeply embargoed.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my view is I am going to have the first go.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not letting anybody else look at my stuff before I've done that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think, I just haven't, frankly, found the way to do it. I mean, if I look at the great autobiographies, they are as good as any of that writer's, let's say, fictional work. You know, if you read the autobiography of Garcia Marquez, it feels like a book by Garcia Marquez. You know, I mean, if you, and so on. If you read the autobiography of Elias Canetti, the same thing. I mean, all the great autobiographies have that quality of being literature of the same kind as the author has otherwise written. And I haven't found out how to do it. I mean, you know, if I could solve that question, then I will do it. At the moment,
Have you spent a lot of time thinking about that?
Yeah. Yeah, a certain amount of time. I mean, but at the moment, it feels to me like reopening a room that I locked up for very good reason. And I don't particularly want to go back in that room, just because it wasn't nice to be there.
But do you feel it's inevitable that you will go back in there at some point?
Yeah, at some point. I think it's my old age pension. I think when I really decide I haven't got any more stories to tell, I might tell this one, which is a good story. And there's no doubt that it's a good story. That's the tempting bit, is that it's a good story and you don't know what it is. I mean, you think you do, but you don't.